Good morning, people. Good morning. Today is Monday, September 25th, 2023. My name is Edward Bevilacqua. I'm with Department of Career Services from Kentucky. We're here to help you get from where you are to someplace better, from point A to point B, from Someday Isle to Successlandia. And we do it through this podcast. But it's not actually through this podcast, it's through the stuff down below. The podcast is just the routine to follow to get you to do the things you need to do so you get to be where you want to be in the future. That's it, no big deal. Let's get started on our five-part podcast. Five-part podcast. Part one, prepare for the podcast or prepare for the day. 2, attitude of gratitude. 3, review yesterday. 4, plan for today. 5, project the day, and then go make it happen. Now, we do parts 3 and 5 after the video, after the podcast is over, so we don't have dead air giving you time to think about it for yourself. So it's about a 15-minute-ish sort of, but not really time podcast. So let's get started with our preparing. So that's breathing exercise. Once again, we'll do the Huberman Stanford double intake through the nose, exhale through the mouth technique. The goal is to fully expand our lungs, to get as much air in our lungs as possible, open up all those little air sacs. And that happens either through heavy, constant exertion of breathing or double expansion of the diaphragm and the rib cage. Okay, so it looks like this. If you do it right, I promise you will feel it. And more than that, every day or every week, you'll notice you can intake just a little bit more, feel a little bit more. Okay, so that's part number 1 down, preparing. So now physically we're prepared. Also during that little exercise, we had to focus our attention on our breathing. So that's another important part to becoming successful, is be able to take control of your mind when things around you are getting seemingly out of control or frustrating or confusing. 2, step 2, attitude of gratitude. Start out the day in a positive frame of mind. As my dad used to say, accentuate the positive. Think about the positive, accentuate that. Don't get sucked into negative thinking, downward spiral. So how do we do that? Well, it's a three-step process. Step 1 is to write in your book. So you have a pen, paper. We need to write this stuff down. Pen, paper, coffee, courtesy of Randy Bissell, Texas Prison Ministries of Texas, Desert Oasis Commission, members of the STS, Sharpen the Saw Brigade, number 1, number 86. Okay, so step 1, write in your book. I'm so happy and grateful now that. I'm so happy and grateful now that blank. Then turn it into a question. Step 2, turn that into a question. What am I so happy and grateful for right now? Then step 3, turn inward, focus your attention inward and watch all the things scroll through that you're happy and grateful for. So our normal state of mind, we've got a lot of things going through our mind at one time, and we kind of have this sort of automatic thing to choose the thing that's the highest. So we have a subroutine, let's call it a subroutine going on in our brain. We give it a problem. It's processing on possible conclusions down in the background, way down below. Possible solution pops up, bingo. and we go with that. We're not doing that. What we're doing is we're going to focus our attention on all of the possibilities, answers to the question to solve the problem. So the problem is, what am I so happy and grateful for right now? By turning my attention inward, focusing on what's going on in my brain, the thoughts going through my brain, I can see all of the choices that normally the subroutine is just looking to select the one. So what am I so happy and grateful for right now? And the first thought that usually pops in my mind is, I'm alive. And then it builds from there. But the key thing was right now. So implying what's happening around me right now that I'm so happy and grateful for. And then write down a couple little things. Boom. Okay. It's almost 6 minutes in. Next step. So we've done prepare. We have done attitude or gratitude. Step 3 is normally review. We do that when it's over. So we're going to step 4, which is plan for today. So first part of our plan for today is what? What? I don't know what. No, I do know what. It is to write down 3 simple goals to accomplish today. 3 simple goals. So one goal could be watch this podcast, or it could be take notes on the podcast, or it could be do one of the things down below. One of the things down below is advice from an 80-year-old, which says, when someone hugs you, let them be the first to let go. Let them be the first to let go. Someone hugs you. Okay, you could say, all right, I'm going to do that today. I will do that today. So write down 3 simple things that you are going to accomplish today. And you will notice when you accomplish them, you feel better. Why? Because you got a little shot of dopamine. Next, plan for the day. What do we got going? All right, so this is week 3, day 1 in our course. The State Pen Workbook, a neuroscience-oriented approach to success. And this needs to be updated. This is the 2021 version, so this needs to be updated. We're on week 3, day 1. Week 3, day 1. Boom. Week 3, day 1. Join the tribe, nudge forward. Outside my school-sized kingdom. Those winter Sundays is the poetry to the poem to memorize this week. This is a good one to sustain you. Week 3, day 1, nudge forward. Boom. David Logan. Very good one for our purposes. The thing is, how do you get people in your boat? So week 3 is now we got to get people in the boat. Week 2 was building the boat. Week 1 was, what is this journey thing? So we did week 1, what is this journey thing? 2, building the boat. 3, getting a crew for the boat. How do you get a crew on the boat? And we start the week off with David Logan saying, you want to get people on your boat, join a tribe and nudge it forward. Join a tribe and nudge it forward. A tribe is like-minded people. So you need to have people who are like-minded with you on your journey, people you like being around. Not people who think the same way you think all the time, but people who are like-minded that have the same goal. They want to go to the same destination. Okay, so that's David Logan. What other morsels do we have we can scoop out of the proverbial sea to ingest, digest, and process? Andrew Tate got a good one on despicable behavior. Daily Stoic, adapt and overcome. Inc. magazine, this is for your personal career. Emotional regulation, what to do after losing your temper and yelling. Very good one. Seth's blog. I read it this morning, don't remember it. Fable Darren Hardy. Yes, I'm going to take a second to focus on that. AI is coming. AI is coming. So I think he says in 10 years, there will be two types of businesses, those that use AI and those that are not in business. Jump on it now, ChatGPT, etc. After last night's church service, I'm thinking about writing an anonymous letter to the pastor who had someone fill in for him, say, look, here's a link, ChatGPT, put in instructions, 20-minute sermon on blank topic, including 5 Bible quotes from the New King James Version. Go. And then practice it. Motivational, heart-rending sermon about blank, whatever the topic is, using 5 Bible citations from the New King James Version. And then the guy practices it instead of pain. I attend these putting myself in the state that I'm a non-believer. So somebody dragged me into church, somebody dragged me into Bible study, somebody dragged me into service. I don't know what's going on. I'm not a Christian. I don't understand this stuff. I walk in and I want to learn. I have an open heart, and I walk in with that kind of idea. And number one, I'm met with songs of weakness. Songs of weakness. God, we can't do this without you. And I just don't believe I was put on earth to need God to survive. I don't think that God would do that. And when my little pea brain understanding, God created us in his own image, life was a gift to us, something to cherish, not a burden that I need God to help me and sustain me because I can't do it without him. I'm weak. No. Okay, so I met with that. Number one. Number two, met with mediocre people generally, appealing to my sense of I'm weak and I can't do it without God, talking about the Old Testament and these things from Paul. Nobody's talking much about Jesus or love, and throwing a lot of Bible quotes out at me that I don't even know where the books in the Bible are. And this isn't a place for people who are believers. This is not a place for non-believers. I don't have my notebook. I don't have my laptop. I don't know what's going on. They throw me in the deep end. They're all excited. And I'm feeling like I'm in the wrong place. I'm like in the Western town. I just walked into the saloon and everybody turned to look at me and say, you don't belong here, stranger. Not welcoming, etc. And wanting to do, speaking this foreign gibberish type of words, having people come up and say, I'll heal you. Come up here, we'll heal you. If you're preaching to the choir, it's probably the daily dose of nourishment that they need. If you are a non-believer, if you're 19 of the 20 people in the world, out of every 20 people, if you're 19 of them, not compelling. If you're one of the 20 people in the world, and you can pat yourself on the back saying, yay for me, I'm one of the 20 people who saved all of the rest of you people. You're idiots and morons, and you're going to hell because you deserve it. You're not going to be with Jesus for everlasting bliss, for eternity. It loses me. So my interest is, so the people who are way ahead of me in the Bible, I'm focused on the 19 people, not the one who's already in the choir. I'm focused on the 19 who are not. And if I can get one of those people to become a believer, then it's worth the not humiliation, but the put downs. It's worth the put downs being suffered because I'm just not good enough for I just don't get the preaching to the choir part. I'm not smart enough. My heart isn't open enough, etc. to just act like a believer, man. Just do it. Just give up, give in, do what you're told to do. Just be a believer, man. It's okay. So if I can get one out of those 20 people that are, one out of the 19 that are not believers to become a believer, then it's worth the naysaying and criticisms that I just don't get it. You just don't get it, man. You're dangerous, harmful, etc. Anyway, 15 minutes in. Plan for today. What are you going to do? Plan your work your plan. You fail to plan, you plan to fail. Planning is important. You want to move forward in life, plan. Take 5 minutes, plan your day. Okay, we're going to end this thing. And so you got step 3 and step 5 to go. Step 3 is review yesterday. Look at the highs, the lows, the goods, the bads. Where did you exceed expectations? Where did you fall short? Take it as a lesson learning opportunity. Have the Nolan Bushnell attitude of we're never going to be as crappy as we were yesterday. And then move forward. Don't beat yourself up. It's a learning experience. We're on a journey. It's not a battle. It's not a game. It's a series of battles, a series of games, and we want to continue to play in the game, which means you need to be a good loser because you want people to play with you, and you need to be a good winner. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Take the losses as learning experiences. Don't quit the game. And now, boom, I want to get from point A to point B. Simple, not easy, simple. Act such that yesterday was the only easy day. Push yourself just a little bit more today to help someone have meaning and purpose in your life. Get comfortable being uncomfortable, embrace the suck, do whatever, because the reality is 8 out of 10 people, once it's a little bit uncomfortable, their performance is going to be affected, not effective. It's going to be affected. So if you can just keep going when they start flagging, guess what? Progress, winning. Okay. And let's see what else we got here. Oh yeah. If you're still here, God doesn't have a plan for you. I say discard that notion. Your life was a gift from God to do as you choose. You have free will. You should choose to live it in a way that is pleasing to God. Not that you need to figure out what is this plan for God. God put me here on earth. He's got a plan for me. I got to figure out what the plan is. That's no fun. That doesn't even make any sense. God created people because he had this plan. He created people to do the plan. He doesn't make it really clear what the plan is. And then you feel bad because you're not doing God's plan. You're always wondering, am I doing God's plan? Is this God's plan? How do I know? Well, things are going good. It's God's plan. But on the other hand, they could go well, but then not go well because maybe I got off the plan. No, let's just do Occam's razor. Simpler than that. God's gift to us was our life. Our gift to God is how we live our life. Live our life in a way that is pleasing to God. How do we do that? Well, Jesus told us how to do it. Love God with all your heart. Love your neighbor as yourself. Love your neighbor as I have loved you. Be willing to sacrifice everything for your neighbor. Love. A message of love, not fear, not trembling, not worship. If you do that, I think you'll be okay, because God said in John 3:16, the most quoted out of context quote, I sent my son. I love you so much. I sent my son that whoever believes in him shall not perish. What did Jesus say? Love God with all thy heart, first commandment. Second commandment, love your neighbor as yourself. And the new commandment, the third commandment, love your neighbor as I have loved you. A litmus test you can do when you go into the next service, see how many times they quote Jesus and how much they talk about love versus duty. That, arrivederci paisanos, and we'll say cut.